Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Worth Reading. And welcome to a new reading vlog. This week will be absolutely chaotic. It just will be. I just know it. It's my second to last week of my undergraduate, which is insane. So this will be the week where I'm studying for my last test. Will be on Monday and Tuesday, which is a week from now. And in that week, I probably won't be able to vlog a lot. And I thought, okay, let's vlog this week. Let's put in some study as well. And we'll just see what ends up happening. I hope that I can update this vlog regularly. I've been loving making vlogs and I've been really trying to stay consistent at it and film every day and just tell you a lot more about what I'm reading and what I'm doing. So I hope that you're enjoying that. My plans for this week, because I am studying so hard, are not going to be a lot. But I've been getting through mostly like 2 books a week in the last couple of weeks because yeah, it's just been rough, but I've been getting through 2 books a week. So this is the 2 books that I'm picking. First, the one that I have no choice over, and that is The Perfume by Patrick Suskind. This is a German author. I have read this book before. I did not like it. I read this book maybe in 2020, maybe in 2021. No, it was 2020, I think. And I really disliked it at the time. This is the translated version, but I need to reread this because I'm doing a German literature class and this is the last book that we're going to talk about. And I have my last class tomorrow before my test and we haven't even begun to discuss this. So like, it's really bad for me. It's going terribly, but I have to read this. And it is a short book. It is 240 pages. So this is achievable. I just don't want to read it because I didn't like it, but it is achievable. And so this is the book that I'm reading, not for pleasure, for pain, because I really don't want to read this. I didn't like it. It's a story about this guy named Grenouille in the 18th century, and I think it's set in Paris if I remember correctly, or at least in France. And yeah, it's about the guy called Jean-Baptiste Grenouille, and he is born with this like abnormal sense of smell. And so he decides, because of that, to terrorize everyone and their mothers and just start like killing people. I don't know. It was just, it had things that I thought I would enjoy, but I just didn't enjoy the final result. We'll see if this time is different. I'll let you know, but I doubt it. And the book that I will be reading, because I want to, is another book that's on my spring TBR. I'm trying to get through that. And that is Briefly a Delicious Life by Neil Stevens. I love this cover so much. I actually haven't seen what's underneath. Oh, it's just black. That's fine by me. And this is a book about a little, not a little girl, like a teenager who dies and she becomes a ghost. I think her name is Blanca. And then she like discovers that in the afterlife she's queer and she's like falling in love with women. And so she falls in love with George Sand, sorry, who is the wife of Frédéric Chopin. So this is set also in the 19th century, and it's set in Mallorca, so in Spain. And she just starts falling in love with this woman. And I think it just sounds really good, like a queer ghost. Like, yes, like a girl who discovers that she's falling in love with women after she dies. I love this. I love this so much. So these are the 2 books that I'm going to be reading this week. What else? I'm also still reading Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I also wanted to do a little bit of progress in that today. I'm reading that for a different vlog, so there won't be many updates here. But that's also a book that I'm currently reading. And it's just really hard because I've been trying to make content and I'm trying to make vlogs happen. And I'm trying to do this and that. But then like school, like university, like I just can't do everything that I want to do. And it's really frustrating. But next week is my last week of my undergraduate. I still have my internship and I still have to turn in my report about my internship. But that's all on the back burner, baby. Like, I'm not going to be on at classes every day, which is going to make it so much easier to film, to read, to just live, which is so exciting to me. So we are only positive vibes this week. Also, we have a holiday. Thursday is a holiday here. It's our Freedom Day. We love to see it. And I'm just excited, okay? I'm trying to not feel nervous about my final exams and instead feel excited and just looking forward to it all just finishing and going away. And yeah, we'll just try to make this week as positive as I can. So that's my plan. I have a pile of books here because I filmed a video and then I just didn't put them away, so I'm going to put them away now. My shelves are a mess, like my TBR shelf. Hideous, a mess, monstrous. But we're going to put those away now. And I also wanted to show you something that I got. It's not book related because I'm trying not to buy books. It's been almost a month since I bought my last book. But it is something that I want to show you and I think it's so cute and I'm so excited. Okay, basically this will be for my... If any of you out there are Bob's Burgers girlies, then you will understand this completely. This was totally an impulse purchase. How the fuck am I going to open this? This was as much as an impulse purchase can be. I just saw this and I had to have it. If you've seen Bob's Burgers, this is the favorite like toy of Louise, and I love Louise so much, and she just loves Coochie Copy, and she just hangs out with him all the time, every day, and he just sleeps with her, and it's just so, oh my god, I love it. I love it so much, and it glows in the dark. You guys, Copy. Okay, I sound like a literal psychopath, but if you've seen Bob's Burgers, then you know. This is just so cute. I love him so much. Okay, I'm put together now. It's so cute. I'm going to put it on top of my shelves, and I'm just in love with it. I'm so in love with it. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Anyway, I'm going to put these books away now and just clean up the mess that I just made, and then we'll talk in a little bit. Hello, good morning. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Yeah, it's Thursday today. It's a national holiday, so I'm at home and I'm studying because I have my last tests next week. So it's all just going very downhill for me in terms of end of semester stress. Like, I'm kind of going through it a lot. But I do want to tell you about my last 2 days. So Tuesday, I was at university all day, but I did manage to read 50 pages of Perfume. I'm not disliking it as much as I did in the past, but I'm still not really enjoying it. But yeah, the goal is to finish it this weekend. And that's basically all that I've read. It's those 50 pages. I've read only one chapter of Briefly a Delicious Life. It's on my nightstand. I'll go get it in a second. But that's all that I've read. Yeah. Tuesday was a bit too much. And then when I got home, I usually read at night, but I've been so stressed about like my exams and also like finding a summer job, but also already applying for big girl jobs after the summer. And I've just been doing a lot of research, and it's just, yeah, like I don't like to complain, but it's just, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. It's not bad things, it's just a lot going on at the same time, and I tend to get really overwhelmed when those things do happen. But in any case, on Tuesday it was also World Book Day, right? It was the celebration of books all around the world, which meant that there were a lot of discounts going on, which meant that I did a little bit of damage only with my gift card, only with my gift card, I bought 3 books for myself, and they won't get in time for me to upload this vlog, so I'll just tell you about it. I bought Chlorine by Jade Song. This is a book that I've been meaning to buy for the longest time. Even back in New York in September, I saw it and I really wanted to get it, but then I didn't, and it was with a good discount. So I bought the beautiful Chlorine like blue edition. It's incredible. Then I also got The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I did it. I don't know. It was kind of an impulse purchase, but I think I'm really going to enjoy it. It's like historical fantasy set in Spain. It just really spoke to me in terms of plot, and I do love Leigh Bardugo's writing. So I'm very hopeful that I'll love that one enough to justify me buying it. And lastly, I bought a book that's on my books to read in 2024, and I actually bought the edition that I wanted, which is so nice. And I bought The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I am so unbelievably excited to read this book. It's one of those fantasy books that just like really spoke to me, and I really want to read it. That doesn't happen to me a lot. I don't usually like fall in love with books that I don't know a lot about, but I know this is about like a retired woman pirate, and she has to like get back in business like one more time. And I don't know, it's just a book that I really want to read, and for some reason I specifically wanted to own it. So I'm picking up that delivery next week. So it'll be like a reward for finishing my exams and for basically finishing my degree. I mean, not yet, because I still have my internship and my report to give in the beginning of June. But in terms of like classes, it'll be over by next Thursday, which is so insane to say. It's really unbelievable. It's been 3 years, and a lot of you maybe don't know this, but it's actually not my first degree. I was a student of veterinary medicine for 2 years, but I quit that because it really wasn't good for my mental health at the time. And so I made this transition to like culture, communications, literature, and it feels like it's where I've always belonged, but I was always too terrified to go into it. It's a very competitive market. There's not a lot of jobs for humanities right now, and so I've always felt that it was what I was supposed to do, but I was just too scared to actually go into it, and I don't know, not being able to find a job or stuff like that. So I've been thinking a lot about that, which is why I've been a little bit consumed in my head about it, which is why I haven't been reading much. But as I mentioned, today is a study day, but in between my studies, I'm going to do breaks where I'm going to be reading. That's hopefully what's going to happen. And I think that I want to read, oh my god, my hair, girl, get a grip. I want to read Briefly a Delicious Life, and I want to read Perfume. So those are the 2 books that we're going to be going in between today. And yeah, I'm just I don't know, I just have a lot of thoughts, and I feel like this reading vlog will be more thought heavy than reading heavy, but we'll just have to figure it out. Also, yesterday I went to see Civil War with my boyfriend, and it was so brutal. Like, I really enjoyed it, but it was absolutely horrifying. Like, those scenes, some of the scenes are really stuck in my mind, and it was so stressful. It was like a 2-hour anxiety trip. It was horrible, but it was also really good, and it was a great critique of like photojournalism and the neutrality that comes with it, and like how you have to be so impartial and immune to what you're photographing that you kind of become like a vulture trying to get the best shot. I really like that reflection. I really like that critique. And any movie about war makes me incredibly anxious right now, because if I hear one more time that we're on the brink of World War III, I don't know what I'm going to do. So it was incredibly stressful, but it was also really good. And that's what I got up to yesterday. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go have lunch, then I'm going to study, and then we're going to read hopefully a chapter of A Briefly a Delicious Life and Perfume in between like Pomodoro method in between my study time. So let's do it. Let's be productive today. It's update time. I haven't been reading as much as I thought that I would, but mostly because most of my study today is dependent on me reading. So the last thing that I want to do on my study breaks is to read. But with that being said, I have read until the 48-page mark on Briefly a Delicious Life. So I did make the tiniest bit of progress today. I'm hopeful that I'll reach at least page 100 today. More would be incredible, but I'm just going to take it easy today because my eyes get really tired when I'm reading on the computer, which is really normal, but it does happen. So if I don't read as much today as I want to, that's totally fine. Maybe I'll even watch a movie tonight, do something a little bit different. But yeah, I'm 50 pages in basically, and I will say that the only thing that's deterring me a little bit from this book, I am enjoying it, but it's the first person POV. I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with it. I am usually a third person POV kind of girly. It really does depend on the book and how the author deals with it. It's not that I have like a set out preference, but especially for historical fiction, sometimes I do prefer a third person POV because I feel like it's simpler and it's easier to maintain the tone, because this is supposedly set in the 19th century. But because we're in the head of this girl, and because the author is writing just a girl talking to us, it feels much more contemporary than that. And I do wish it was a little bit more historical in that sense. So that's one of the only things that I'm not loving, but I am really enjoying this book. This girl, Blanca, she has just been discovering her sexuality after death, which is an insane concept, and I'm just really enjoying this queerness journey that she's on. It does feel a little bit weird because even though now she's 300 years old, she was a 14-year-old girl. I wish she was a little bit older than that, because it definitely does feel weird to have her crushing on this older woman when her last mindset was at 14. Does that make any type of sense? I just wish she died at like 18, or just like as a young girl instead of like a child. But yeah, she's just like really in love with George Sand, the wife of Frédéric Chopin, and I'm just having a good time. Not a lot has happened yet in terms of plot, but we have found out that Blanca can kind of get into the heads of the people that are around her. Sometimes she has to work a little bit harder at it. It really does depend on the person, but it is something that like she kind of gets to live through the sensation of the person. So like she gets into their heads as they are eating, and she like feels food and feels their hunger and feels their satisfaction. And so that's an also very interesting perspective, because she can interact and she can feel the people that are around her and how they affect her. And I feel like that's just a very interesting take on a story that could be somewhat distant, because she is a ghost, so she won't ever naturally interact with people around her, and especially her love interests. So the fact that she does have this power is quite interesting, and it does allow her to have more interesting interactions with the women in her life. So yeah, not a lot to say yet, but I will keep reading it. And I feel like I'm going to have a pancake now, because I have been loving like a pancake as a snack lately. But yeah, I'm just really, like, my eyes are really tired because I'm getting a lot of reading done that I have to, but it feels like I'm not doing enough, you know, like because I am spending so much time reading, it feels like I haven't achieved any tasks yet. But I know this will be like a huge help in the next couple of days, like having all that done. So yeah, I'm just going to go have a little pancake and watch a little bit of a YouTube video. and then I'm going to come back and work for at least like another 1 or 2 hours. I never study or work at night unless I really have to, because I'm not productive at night at all. Like till dinner time I can do, after dinner is like a big no-no. So I'm going to study for like another hour and a half, 2, and then I'll stop for the day, and then I can really focus on reading and just resting before it all starts again tomorrow. Okay friends, quick update for tonight. I have read until page 108. I'm very happy with that. I cannot read anymore. Physically I can't, I'm too tired, so I'm going to sleep now. But I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it, which is a little bit sad, because I really expected to love this book, and I expected it to have a different kind of writing to it, which does not mean that I don't like the writing or that I'm criticizing the writing. It's just not as beautiful or poetic as I hoped. It's very much more simple, straight to the point. Sometimes you can see that the author tries to make it like a beautiful writing, but it's just not what I expected, which by no means it's bad. I'm just not in love with it. But yeah, I've read like a third of the way through. Tomorrow we'll be making more progress with it, and it's just time to go to sleep, baby, because tomorrow we're doing this all over again. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow, and I hope that I sleep well, because I really need it. Hello friends, good morning. I have an update with you today. It's not morning, actually, it's after lunch. It's like 3, and I want to tell you that I've read until page 137, so I'm almost halfway through with Briefly a Delicious Life. And I feel like yesterday night I didn't really, oh my god, this looks like it's like trespassing my head. That's not very cute. Okay, now it's better. And I feel like I didn't do a very good job, because I was really tired of telling you what I'm actually thinking of this book. I am enjoying it just fine. Like if I were to rate it right now, it would be like a 3, 3.5. I am liking it. It has more qualities than it does flaws, in my opinion, but it's still not what I wanted it to be. I want it to be more aching. I want it to be more poetic, more beautiful, more historical, and instead it just feels a little bit like a contemporary, and I'm not really connecting a lot with the characters. And I also find it very strange. It's just Blanca, when we are in her head, in her memories, she lived in the 15th century, so she died in like 400 and I don't know, 70s, like in the 1400s, which means that that's very old, that's very medieval, that's very not progressive at all. And I'm not trying to deter this book from trying out something new. It just feels kind of weird. Like it feels very much like it's not set during that time whatsoever. It feels much more contemporary than that. And I find it so strange, because when Blanca was alive, she liked men, and she was only 14. And I know that people in that time matured much more earlier than we do now, because they lived very short lives. But at 14, she's like in love with men, and her mom tells her, we live in a village with beautiful men, and men and men and men, and they were like obsessed with men and like chasing around men. And she was like, oh, can I follow the men of the monastery? And she's like, and the monk is like, yeah, go after them, I want to see where they go. And it just feels very strange. Now, I'm not in history, especially not a medieval history. I did have a class last semester that I really enjoyed, which was medieval culture, but I'm by no means an expert in this field, so I cannot say if this is right or wrong. It just feels wrong, you know? It just feels much more forward thinking than it would be, you know? Yeah, I'm just not really in love with it, but it is quite entertaining. It does read, I read this quite easily. I don't have to struggle through reading this. It comes quite naturally. It's very compulsive. So I'm reading kind of like a chapter in between my study, because today I'm not reading as much as I was yesterday because I got that done. So I'm reading more of this today. So yeah, today I've already read 30 pages, which is not a lot, but I was aiming for reading 100 pages a day, and I read a lot at night. So if I could finish this today, that would be incredible, and I could move on to other books on my TBR, but we'll just have to see. I don't want to really like pace myself that way or time myself that way. But yeah, I'm just reading like a couple of chapters here and there, and I am having a good time, but I'm not as in love with it as I thought I would be. But yeah, I'm going to study now, read a little bit more afterwards, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling amazing today. I also got some bad news, not about me, but just like someone that I know, like something bad happened. It just always makes me feel quite sad. So I'm just not having the best day, but I'm trying to make the best out of the day that I'm having. But yeah, I'm just going to keep reading, and I'll tell you a little bit more later. I was also supposed to film a video today, but I didn't want to. I'll film it tomorrow. And that's all that I got for now. So I'm going to study a little bit more, and then I'll see you afterwards. Hello. As the day has progressed, I have been feeling kind of down. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just not doing very well. And my studying did go okay. I finished what I wanted to finish today. 2 of my courses are going fine, and then, sorry, there's just one last one that I need to look at, but I still have the whole weekend to do it. It's only on Tuesday. But I don't know, I'm just not doing very well today. I'm a little bit upset, but I have read until basically page 200. I have about 120 pages left. I don't think I'll finish it today, but definitely like tomorrow. And I'm still just feeling kind of meh about it. I like it, but I'm just not loving it. I'm just not loving it. It's nothing to rave about. I don't feel like I'm going to finish this book and recommend it to everyone. It's not going to be a book that I shout from the rooftops. It's just okay, you know? It's just fine. I'm enjoying it fine. I want to read it fine. But I was expecting a little bit more from it. It's also a dual timeline, triple timeline actually, in which we are seeing Blanca's past when she was alive, and we're also seeing George's past, the object of her desires. We're also seeing her memories. And it's interesting when Blanca does manage to get in people's heads and see their dreams and see their future and feel what they're feeling. It does make for some good storytelling and some interesting storytelling, but I'm just not in love with it. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. Is that better? I can't tell. But yeah, I don't know if it's just because like I'm tired or if there's something else going on. I'm just not doing very well, you know? But anyway, I did change my sheets, so that was productive. Fridays are my changing the sheets day. So today I'll have fresh sheets, which is always a plus. We love a cozy bedtime. And yeah, I'm just going to make dinner now. I think I'm going to be making a recipe that I've been recently really loving, which is like deconstructed lasagna, like in a pot. So instead of like constructing it and putting it in the oven. You just do it, it's like a one pot thing, and I really enjoy that. So I think that's what I'm going to be making for dinner. And then yeah, I'm just going to read a bit more before bed. I would like to get until page like 250 maybe. I don't know if that's realistic or not, we'll just have to see. But yeah, so far I'm just finding it fine. I'm not in love with it, and I'm not really loving the historical aspects of this. I feel like this would have been a very fun concept adapted to a contemporary setting, and I just feel like the historical part is not done very well. And I just feel like if the author was going to go historical, she should have gone all the way, but it just doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's kind of like half-assedly done, you know. But we'll see. I am curious about how this is going to end, because it feels like such a day-to-day story that I am not sensing like a lot of dramatic urgency. So I really have no idea how this will end. It doesn't have a sense of urgency to it, but we'll just have to see. Okay, last update for Friday. I am currently on page 255, which means that I have only like 65 pages left. Maybe the math is not mathing, but it's something like that. It's something of the sort. And I still feel the same way. We are getting a little bit more about Blanca's feelings and how she's dealing with this kind of like eternal ghostly life that she's leading. And it's actually a very interesting question, because you don't really understand what she's still doing there, because apparently there are no other ghosts. So it's like, what is actually happening to her? Why is she the only ghost around? So I'm really enjoying the like philosophy behind that and the existential thoughts that she's having. But other than that, yeah, like I feel like this will be just an okay book. I expected to connect a little bit more with it. There's nothing I can actually pinpoint. It's just a feeling. Like I just feel a little bit distant from it, but I can't really explain why. It has something to do with the writing, it has something to do with the way that the story is set out, maybe with the way that is organized, like the timelines, the back and forth, the POVs. I'm not really sure what it is, but something is just making me feel a little bit distant from the story. And for me, at least, for me to give a book like a really high rating, I need to connect with it a little bit, or connect with the characters, or just feel a little bit more of something. And I'm just not feeling a lot. But yeah, I'm going to finish it tomorrow, and I'm glad to, so I can move on to something else. And yeah, we'll see where this ends up going, because I still have no idea how this is going to wrap up. There's no sense of urgency, really. There's no plot overall, so I really don't know how this is going to wrap up, but I'm excited to find out where it actually is going. Again, I say this every single night, I am so tired. So I'm about to go to bed, fresh sheets, which we'd love to see, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Hey there, friends. Today is Saturday, and for my first update of the day, I want to tell you that I'm on page 282. So I have like 40 pages left to read this book, and I still feel exactly the same way, so I'm not going to get very into it now, but I'm hopeful that I'll finish it in a little bit. But exciting news, actually. I got an email that said that my package is actually ready. The books that I bought last Tuesday on World Book Day. They're ready. There's still one missing, but that's actually not for me. It's a gift that I bought for someone. So my books are here and I am so excited. I'm going to go get them, and then I also am going to swing by the library because I have a hold that I need to pick up. So it's gonna be like a little bit of a book haul and I'm so excited. I'm going to go to the bookshop, pick up my package. Just what a day. What a time to be alive. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm going to bring a Monster Calls with me to give it back. I'm not going to pick up any books, and then I'll go pick up my package. So that's really exciting. I'm so happy. First stop is the library, so let's go pick up my hold and give back a Monster Calls. Okay, my two goods have been secured, and now we are about to go to the bookshop and pick up the most exciting package. Friends, I am back. I'm sorry, the weather is really fluctuating. It's cloudy, then sunny, so apologies if the lighting is different all the time. I'm really sorry about that, but I am back. And I have with me one of the most exciting book hauls I've ever done. I call it a book haul. It's 4 books. But for me, that's a book haul, okay? So let's start with the least exciting ones. Let's start with my library ones. And to start with that, I'm going to show you the least exciting book, a book that you have seen if you've seen my latest vlogs, and that is A Tin Drum by Günter Grass. Basically, my German literature test is on Tuesday, and I just feel like I might need this. I'm going to bring it with me to the test because we can have consultation, and I feel like I'm just going to need this. I just feel like I'm going to have to write down quotes or something like that, so I just bought it home for a few days, and I'm going to give it back next week after my test is done. But then I picked up a hold, and this is a book that I did have, but I really didn't like the cover that I had, so I unhauled it, and now I went to pick up this hold because this is a book that's on my spring TBR and a book that I want to read in May, and that is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I much prefer this cover, even though, I don't know, I just love this type of blue. It doesn't have a lot going on, but I just like it. And yeah, this is a book that I'm going to read this spring, hopefully in May, because it's also the Asian Readathon, which I'll be filling my TBR for today, actually. And it's going to be on the TBR. It's a book that I've been really meaning to read. It's about a group of students growing up in a darkly skewed version of contemporary England. Narrated by Kathy, now 31, Never Let Me Go dramatizes her attempts to come to terms with her childhood at the seemingly idyllic Hailsham School and with the fate that has always awaited her and her closest friends in the wider world. A story of love, friendship, and memory, Never Let Me Go is charged throughout with a sense of the fragility of life. I know this has some sort of plot twist that I have no idea what it is, so it's going to be a twist for me, but I'm just really excited to read this book. It is short, and I feel like I'm going to have a good time. And yeah, thank you, my library, for having this book so I can actually read it in May. So with those 2 books out of the way, I'm going to show you the 3 books that I bought for World Book Day. And here they are. Oh my god, you guys don't even know how excited I am for this. I splurged a little bit, but they had discounts, okay? They had discounts. It's really rare that I buy full price books. This was with a gift card. It was. But it's very rare that I buy like full price books. So I'm hoping, I'm honestly praying that I enjoy these books, because if I don't, that'll be a problem. Anyway, let's start with one of the hottest books right now, and that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed. And I love a good sized paperback, like none of that pocket edition shit. Like I love a good sized paperback. I love a big font, and this has it all. I am so excited about this. Like, this is the historical fiction by Leigh Bardugo. It's set in Spain. It's about this girl Luisa who has these magical powers where magic is being actively pursued as witchcraft, and there is inquisition going on, and she is found out but by powerful members of the society who are trying to usurp her powers in order to empower themselves. I just feel like this is going to be good. I hope it'll be good. If it's not, I'll actually cry, because this is such a beautiful book, and it just came out like 2 weeks ago, and I never do that. So if I don't like this book, I'll cry. I'll honestly cry. Then, like I said in the last clip, I bought, it's a little bit dirty, I bought Chlorine by Jade Song. Oh my god, look at it. I actually can't deal with this, you guys. Like, look at it. It is so beautiful. And literally during my last vlog, oh my god, I went to a bookstore with my friend Mafalda, and we just gawked at this book, and it was like 20 euros, and I just said like, oh my god, I can't do that right now. But it had a discount, and it was with my gift card, so girl math, no money was spent on this, and I just love it so much. Like, I almost bought the original red cover of Chlorine back in New York, and I didn't, and it's been many months, and I am still thinking about it. So I finally took it home with me, and I'm so unbelievably excited about this. This is about a swimmer, Renyu, and she believes that she's turning into a mermaid. I think that's it. It's supposed to be like a horror, but it's also like a coming of age story. It says here in the back, mermaids swim in chlorine, thrive in locker rooms. Mermaids are not born, we are made. So we love to see it. Like, look at this. Obsessed. Obsessed. And then I can't believe that I have this book in my hands. I didn't even know that it was a hardback. I thought I was buying the paperback, but so much for the better, because I've been really into hardbacks, which is horrible for my wallet, but I've been really into hardbacks lately. And that is The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. Oh my god. This is the cover that I desperately wanted it, especially in a hardback, and it was so hard to find. It was sold out everywhere. When it wasn't sold out, it had this huge price on it. But yeah, I got it with a discount. Oh my god. What? I'm having the best day of my life today. Honestly, I was feeling so down. Turns out all you need to feel better is to buy books. Turns out that's a secret. That's all that you're going to need. I can't believe it. It's so beautiful. This is exciting to me because I have never been someone that, again, buys full price books. I am a secondhand girly. I literally don't care. If the book is in good condition, I will buy anything secondhand. So I never usually splurge in buying like pretty editions or pretty hardbacks. So the fact that I have this one, and it's a book that I'm so excited to read. I just did my Our Fantasy subreddit bingo, fantasy bingo for 2024, and this is one of the books on there. It was also like on my 10 books to read in 2024. And it's just all coming together, and I'm so glad that I have this. Let's see what's hiding. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my god. Guys, what a day. Huh? Just, what a day. What a beautiful day to be alive. Can you actually believe this? Like, what a day. What a weekend. What a time to be alive. Well, anyway, that's my update. I unfortunately have to go back to studying now because, yeah, life is apparently not all about buying books and reading them. You actually have to study and do chores and do other things. So that's what I'm going to do now, even though I am much more motivated because I am so unbelievably excited about this haul. I really can't believe it. And then when I do have another study break, I'm going to continue on with Briefly a Delicious Life. I am nearly done with it. And then we will just have to see if I continue reading the perfume, if I don't. But yeah, I have at least to finish it this afternoon, and we'll figure it out what happens next. Hi, it is now the next day and I'm here to wrap up the vlog. I finally finished Briefly a Delicious Life yesterday night, and I didn't do an update because this vlog is very long already, but I want to tell you my final thoughts on this as well as my reading. You've seen me update my reading journal. I ended up giving this book a 3.5. I just didn't really love it. I thought that there were some elements that I really enjoyed, as the fact that we do have a ghost girl who is exploring queerness in a historical setting. There's a lot about not conforming to gender norms in terms of dressing and expressing yourself, as well as sexuality, of course. And I thought that those were very valuable explorations, and I enjoyed the tenderness with which they were explored. But at the same time, I just didn't really love this. I felt that the historical aspects weren't very well done. It felt much more contemporary than it should have, especially for something that was half part in the 15th century and then half of it in the 19th century. It just felt a little bit more modern, perhaps, than what it should have. I didn't really feel the historicalness of it, which is one of the reasons why I didn't really love it. The writing didn't really do much for me. And I wish we could have seen a little bit more of something. I don't know what, but I wish we could have seen more. Even when we were in George's head, the object of Blanca's passion, sometimes we saw her memories because Blanca saw her memories, and I wish we could have seen more. I wish I could have connected with it a little bit more, but I just didn't. I felt very distant from it. The rest of the characters were also just fine. And I did like, I told you in an earlier clip that I really enjoy the essential aspects of this book. The way that Blanca is kind of like just tired of being a ghost. And I wish we could have explored that more as well. But we didn't. We didn't really end up knowing why she's a ghost when there are no other ghosts around. What happened in terms of why she's still here. We didn't really get those answers, and I thought that the ending was just a little bit, it made sense, but it was just a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, I just didn't love it. It's not a favorite. It's a 3.5 because there were some elements that I did enjoy, but it's not like an all-time favorite. And for a book with this premise, I feel like the execution could have been a lot better, for sure. In any case, that's it. I've only read 50 pages of the perfume. It's on my nightstand. I don't really want to go get it. I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish it. I might, but yeah, I just didn't feel like reading anymore, and I figured out that I could not talk about it during my upcoming test, so I guess I just don't need to finish it at the moment. But yeah, I've just been, this was kind of a weird vlog, I'm sorry about that. I just feel like I was a little bit all over the place. It's very strange that tomorrow is my last week of university. I'm kind of dealing with that a little bit. Not that it's a negative thing, but it's just something that it's taking a lot of being used to, and I'm stressed about my final test, but I think they will go well. I know you couldn't really see, but I have been studying very hard in the last couple of days, and I worked overall really hard this semester, so I think they will go well for me. But it's just a little bit jarring when you have such a big transition and such a big life change, which is literally like finishing your degree. And yeah, this just I have a lot of thoughts. So yeah, I'm probably going to take next week off from vlogging just to do my test, and I'll honestly just decompress a little bit after that. But yeah, I'm really excited for May to come. I feel like it will be a good month. April was also a better month than March, so I'm very thankful for that. And overall, thank you for watching this vlog, for sticking with me, and I'm sorry if this wasn't all that you were expecting and that there wasn't actually a lot of reading done. I only finished one book, but honestly, in a stressful week, that's good enough for me. In any case, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and remember that life is worth reading.